in all sorts of trouble in every leg. 3 legs gone. Gary Anderson, not even one double yet. He's the scorer.
Well, he must feel that he's almost literally the scorer, putting the 80 marks on the board, chalking up, because he's been reduced to the role of a spectator here, Gary Anderson, so far in this match. Hasn't had a shot at a double.
140. This is the biggest leg of the match for Gary Anderson. Do not want to be broken twice on the trot. Obviously you don't want to go 4-0 down, needless to say, but for confidence, 81. Just to stop the Thornton in his tracks. You know he's come into this game with confidence.
They were teammates earlier this month at the World Cup of Darts in Hamburg, where they were knocked out earlier on the piece, beaten by the Spanish pair, Rodriguez and Alcinas. And then it was Thornton who was struggling really, but he's not struggling now.
6 140s and 3 and a bit legs. That's outstanding. Gary just needs a big treble. And gets one. What a great last start that was.
It was a great last start by Anderson. 83. Gary's still under a lot of pressure in this leg. He won't take it out, needs to leave a single darter. Won't be doing that.
60.
Well, that was one of his best visits, even though it's one of his lowest scoring visits.
Yeah, when things are conspiring against you, that's what happens. Single 17 now. Double 20 for 4-0. 77. Gary would have been standing behind Robert thinking, yeah, go on, you make it 4-0. Now you've got a chance, Gary.
May only be at the bullseye though. Oh, well, that really is sporting suicide. You cannot miss the big number when you're 0-3 behind. You've got to give yourself a shot at the bull. 52. He didn't do that, and he will be punished. 40.
Not good enough from Gary Anderson, and he knows it. And he was punished. Give Robert Thornton 3 darts at double 20. Likelihood is that you're going to lose the leg. Look at that average.
Last week Gary Anderson bust 68, went 20-48, hit 68, but you've got to finish on a double, Gary.
140.
And that was similar sloppiness from the Scotsman.
Oh yes! Gary Anderson's first 180. It's 1 inch now. Gary last week really should have taken a draw on the game with Andy Hamilton, but he didn't. He somehow missed darts at doubles when looking like it was going to be a point. And he doesn't 57 look like getting a point this week, does he?
So far this year, 107 for Phil Taylor. Dave Clark pointed out before the start of play that Taylor averaged 117 here last year against Simon Whitlock. Thornton threatening something similar. Thornton threatening a whitewash.
91. Can win this leg, he'll be thinking of it, and so will Gary. Now 16 for the bullseye. I can assure you, before he threw that 25 marker he had was delight, but he wasted it. Will he be punished? Will he?
Ball! Gary Anderson's first shot at a double in this darts match, and it was only at the goal, but boy, was it a good one.
Oh, this is better. Confidence. Winning a leg you can get. It's incredible. 5-0 down, you'd have been thinking, no, it's all going wrong again. Not now. That can change in one dart. 100.
Indeed. Well, for 4 3/4 legs, Anderson was being smashed all over the hockey by Thornton. 96. But if he can hold throw here, there's still a game on. As you said, Wayne, turning a one dart only at the bullseye.
Bit of short format.
83.
Tides do change. Will switch. Well, he leaves the big un, the biggest of them all.
Thornton cannot leave a finish, so Anderson has half a dozen darts at 170. He will need 2 visits. All 3 in the respective lower cake, couldn't get the weight.
Even though Gary Anderson does have a superior win percentage over Robert, Robert's actually won 5 of the last 7 matches, so
85. Gary required 152.
say that he's got the better recent form. And he's making a hash of this. It really is.
82.
Very useful last start to leave double 16 if Thornton bodges this. 18 leaves bull. Treble 18 leaves double 7. 5-1 to Robert Thornton. 5-1 on the stage last year. Anderson dismantled Lewis 8-1. It could be on the other end of something similar tonight.
In 6 legs, Gary Anderson has only had 1 dart. It's a double, and that was the bullseye, and he got it. And you don't see that very often when Gary Anderson is playing, because he's so lethal on the red bit and on the green bit normally.
37.
Looking for his 3rd on the night. I have to say, Wayne, it's another magnificent performance from Robert Thornton. He's averaging 110. And week in, week out, he is delivering in this Premier League.
As you said, it's the bookie's favourite to go down. They don't normally get it wrong, but they've got it wrong here. This is how well Robert Thornton's playing. We're in the 7th leg, and that's the 3rd time he's left 1-8-1. After 6 darts, if you're on that, you are flying, believe me.
36.
You said there wouldn't be a 9-darter, there might be a 10-darter here, double 18. It is a 10-dart leg. Wonderful exhibition here for Robert Thornton, it really is. A sensational display.
140.
How many people could live with this standard?
97.
There's not many, I tell you. Taylor at his best, Van Gerwen at his best. This man at his best can, but this is not Gary Anderson's A game.
Robert Thornton's already drawn with Michael Van Gerwen. He doesn't play Phil Taylor until the final round-robin fixture. By then, rest assured, he will not be worrying about being eliminated from this darts competition. His 4th of the night, yet again. He's peppering the treble 20 Medway. 18 so far in 4 matches.
What a performance. Sublime stuff from Robert Thornton. If Gary does go on to lose this, which is likely, come on. He's got Phil Taylor next week. The Premier League just gets easier and easier, doesn't it?
100. Robert, you require 132.
It's a finish. In some style. Oh, bitter disappointment that he hasn't hit the red bit.
45.
Only 45, and Anderson to stay alive. 104. Should get a shot at double. I say should. Tops. That is his second top plus finish. He's had a 1-2-4, he's had a 1-0-4, and those are the only crumbs he's had off Robert Thornton's table. 2 shots at double, he's hit them both. He can't miss a double tonight, Gary Anderson. Just hasn't had any chances.
Scoring has been okay. Gary Anderson's form has been fine. But he's walked in to a red-hot Robert Thornton. 10 140s. It's really not shoddy from Gary Anderson, is it? When you're playing a man full of confidence, it's tough. presented with a chance.
Look at that from Robert Thornton. Anderson, well, you'd say
49.
a little less than okay. Probably C+ average. Thornton, A-grade effort.
He's in again. Well, that was unfortunate.
23.
Just not getting away with that first dart, Anderson. In fact,
58.
you'd have to say he's done pretty well there, just staying on the whitewash by hitting 2 3-figure out shots.
Thornton's first up on the other end was perfect for him. Will he use it?
100.
His bad shots are tons. This is superb. We know what Robert Thornton is capable of, but he's doing it week in, week out on the biggest stages of them all. Single 18. That leaves double 20! And indeed, he shakes his head. I don't know why, with an 109.33 average, Robert Thornton continues to play the darts of his life. Gary Anderson is in trouble here. Needs to accumulate points. Next week he has Phil Taylor.
That was simply breathtaking.